when you first told me, you asked me, did I see the Kyle Kuzma interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll start off. We'll talk about the Lakers, and I was thinking about this, man, and I was thinking about how, like, first of all, I was laughing this morning how there were people that when LeBron first went over to the Lakers, they was talking about how the Lakers could finish as high as fourth. I'm a Spurs fan. We in San Antonio. People was talking about how low the Spurs was going to finish, and if the Lakers was going to be better than the Spurs, whatever. Now we at this crossroads where, like, the Lakers, it's gonna be tough for them to make the playoffs. Like, they're gonna need a lot of balls to
That's
drop,
okay.
literally and figuratively, for them to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
My
I was
question, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
But my question is, you were saying that you need for the rest of the team to be professional and for them to be good. But then my question is, what did we really believe? Like, we know Kyle Kuzma can ball, we know Hart can ball, we know Brandon Ingram was ascending, but did people really believe that the Lakers were gonna be good?
Okay, so first of all, I was one of those people in my bold predictions, and Facebook will probably mark the tape at some point. Um, I said Milwaukee would win the East and the Lakers will finish fourth. Those were bold predictions. Less likely to happen, but bold predictions. Um, so let's first talk about the 18 games. If LeBron doesn't miss 18 games with the injury, because they was balling before he went out,
Yeah.
he doesn't miss those 18 games. Maybe they go at worst 12-6. Add that into add that from the time that he went out to where they are now, and they're right around the fourth or fifth seed in the West. Even at 12-6, I'm just saying, being the low end
Yeah.
of what they could have done. The issue that I was saying with them, it's not a matter of talent and playing. It's the statement of, and he's not the first. Kuzma wasn't the first one to say it. Rondo said it too. It's guys got to play for one another. They got to have each other's back. That's not a talent issue. That's a chemistry issue. That speaks to hurt feelings, because the only difference between LeBron before he went out and the elephant in the room, which was the trade rumors, which is why my thing was be professional. This is still a job. And while you need to have chemistry and you still need to be able to be um, clicking on one cylinder, you still got a job to do. So don't talk to me about effort and what needs to happen, and you're not bringing that effort every day. I don't need you to like each other, but I need you to do your job. And I think that's where. So, like, were the Lakers going to really contend for Western Conference Finals? No. But could they have been a playoff team? We've seen LeBron do more with less in terms of just pure talent. Why wouldn't they have been able to compete for a playoff spot? I mean, they on the outside looking in right now, but it's not like they in the door, like in the cellar. They beat Phoenix. They beat a couple of those other Rudy Poo teams, and they right in the AC. So it's like, when you say, "Oh, did we really expect the Lakers to be good?" Well, we didn't expect them to be elite, but fighting for a playoff spot, yeah, I thought them making the playoffs would be legitimate.
Yeah, I agree. I had them definitely going, making the playoffs. But I guess I don't know. I guess for me, it's like the impact of, say, like how the media covers it. Like, like literally them 3 days going up down, where they had lost a game they wasn't supposed to lose, then they won a game they really wasn't supposed to win, and the very next day they lost a game, and then they were like, "Well,
Yeah.
did LeBron make a mistake by going to the Lakers or whatever?" And da 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 da. Like, nah, like the projection was just that such. And you bring up a really good point. I didn't even think about it like that. That he missed 18 ball games. That does make a difference, And
Yeah.
you say you would project them to possibly go 12-6 in that stretch, even if they go 9-9 or whatever the case may be. The point of the matter is, it's going to be different. It's going to be different as opposed to whatnot. The thing that also kind of came up to the forefront of my brain, and I and I think back about when we had made the prediction for the finals that one year, where you was like, go to stay at 5 for the gentleman's sweep,
Fact.
and I was like, man, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, it's gonna go 7 games, and I'm gonna pick Cleveland. And the reason being is because, albeit that I'm not a Lakers fan, I am a LeBron James fan. And I do believe that, hurt, not hurt, or whatever, you make the argument for him still being the best player in the NBA. He might not be the best player this season, but he's definitely still up there in the conversation of the
Sure.
best player in the NBA. If you ain't talking him or Durant, or if you're not talking really Giannis, those are the people that you got to think about right now. But still, LeBron James still the king, X, Y, and Z. And I said that, hey, if he had to put his team on the back, he would at least get them to a game 7. And the
Right.
thing that I seen happen that I didn't want to fall and sip the Kool-Aid or fall for the okie doke this time and say, you know what? Just because LeBron arrives in LA for the Lakers, that didn't automatically make them, like you said, a Western Conference title contender or a just straight up NBA title contender. We all knew that there would need to be some more things that happened, with the Lakers. But my thing was just that I wasn't going to be the one that was going to fall for the bait and just automatically say, the Lakers got LeBron James, so therefore this is going to happen and this is going to happen. I'm like, nah, he had to be in there for the long game. That's why when I was sitting back and, people want to get on him about making comments and everything like that, I do believe he's suffering a little bit more than what he thought. And the monkey wrench in that was kind of like the injury. But even so, the point of the matter is kind of like, this dude is only one man. He's gonna
Sure.
need all the help he can get. And
Yeah.
as much as I like Kuzma, Hart, Ingram, as much as I like Walton, that coach, whatever, all the ingredients didn't just kind of just come together the way it needed to, because we didn't factor in injury, we didn't factor in chemistry issues, we didn't factor in Rondo's injury for that matter. We didn't factor in a lot of
Right.
those
Well,
things. But
Alonzo.
yeah, and Lonzo. Yeah, and Lonzo. And so my point is that you got to be weary. As much as I'm a believer in LeBron James, I just didn't want to sip the Kool-Aid again and automatically. It's almost like I don't want people to be freaking out about them not making the playoffs, because
Yeah,
it's
but
just the team ain't that good.
well, and see, and so there again, the team's not that good. Like, so let's talk about like legitimately, what has this guy done? A couple years, okay, it's an anomaly. A decade worth of information becomes a trend.
Okay.
LeBron James has been in the playoffs seemingly his entire career. That trend. And we've seen him on teams where Marshall shooting the three in the corner. When they was out here in San Antonio getting blasted in the sweep, like he's taking what seemingly looks like D League roster. He's taking rosters with other phenomenal players. He's taking rosters with players that are not quite as phenomenal as they maybe thought they would be. Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving. And he's made making the playoffs a staple and has gotten to making a finals appearance a staple from his career. So when I'm looking at the Lakers, I'm saying, okay, maybe the team isn't as good as, like, they're not the best team he's been on in terms of making a run, but he's established a trend where as long as people do their job, they can make the playoffs because he's the head of the team. Aside from that, I think that it's important for him to understand that today's NBA player, just like today's youth, they tend to be quicker, more tangible in terms of social media. Like there's more information at their fingertips, which means there's more room for drama, which means there's more room for fragility in their mindset. And I think you got some guys who are saying, man, why I got to be involved in trade rumors? Or you have guys who are saying, well, if I'm gonna be in trade rumors, I'm gonna make myself marketable to the point to where I'm going to a good setup. But then you forget about basketball. I mean, if every time I go to social media, I'm hearing, oh, so and so in the trade rumor, so and so this, so and so that, and you like, man, I just came off a 25-point game. Why my name getting thrown in the mix? Because you're expendable relative to the person that they're talking to, and none of that matters. Keep going out there and playing basketball. Guys got to play for one another. Get out of here. You got to play for that check and do your job for that check. Like I'm with the chemistry piece. I think it's important, but I think you still need to do your job.
So let me ask you this, because you're a Laker fan. Do you think that that chemistry has forever been soiled?
Yes.
So now is it necessary to get all them jokers up out of there?
I mean, you gotta do something.
You have to
You
blow the
got.
team up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to.
So then what's the scenario in if Boston get to the summertime, Boston's able to put together a package, another team's able to put together a package. Let's say if the prize is AD's, Anthony Davis, and they can't get him and they have to blow the team up. Do you see them now then sending players away for less value and then because it's necessary now because the chemistry in the locker room jacked up?
No, I don't think you have to get rid of everybody.
Okay.
And maybe there's a place to salvage to say, okay, this is where we at. Who's gonna be a professional? Who's not? If you still butthurt about your name being in rumors and you can't move past it, then you got to go. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I at what point as a fan of the Lakers, I was excited at what they were able to do. LeBron gets hurt. They struggle, which makes sense given where they were last year. They up, they down, some good games, some bad ones. But then the trade rumors start, and then it's like they've lost a sense of what it means to play basketball. How you lose to Phoenix?
You ain't supposed to be losing to Phoenix, little daddy. You ain't supposed to lose to Phoenix. I don't care who they got down there. They ain't supposed to lose to Phoenix.
So, but I'm not going to allow you to distract me from the fact of the Spurs still being terrible.
Why this ain't got nothing to do with the Spurs?
No, you mentioned them, so I want to make sure that I address that too. When was the last time this team only won one game on the rodeo road trip? Can we get a comment from the room? Can we get a comment? Can we get a comment from the room? What
Oh,
was it?
absolutely.
1-7, 1-8 on the rodeo
Absolutely.
road trip?
Listen. First of all, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. It's the same. It's the same reality. These are not the these not the Tim Duncan Spurs. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. And it's one of them type of things to where it's like, I sit there and I scratch my head every once in a while and say, man, look at the collection of talent that we got on the team. That's even healthy right now, or even unhealthy, whatever. I think the team it needs one. I think the team lacks leadership,
Yeah.
and the team also lacks when I say consistent talent, we got young players. And I'm excited about young players, like the young players that we have. Bryn Forbes, Derek White, Lonnie Walker, and then DeJounte Murray. You talk about those guys fully healthy, and you talk about positionless football, positionless basketball. Then you talk about some of those guys that can really, really, really kind of be special, but you would need somebody to step up. You would need somebody to step up and be kind of like that, that consistent all-star, play at that all-star level, everything like that. I don't know. I think the time has kind of passed on Rudy Gay. He shows us flashes. I think he has some years left in him because of all the years that he was hurt. So he don't have that same wear and tear, but he has injury wear and tear. And
Right.
every day, basically, he's one of the type of players that every game that goes by, he's a game older. And you would just hope that he would be able to salvage some of that.
He got those Grant Hill years left.
Yeah, exactly. He got and that could be good. He can be that guy that, if he averages, 14, 15 points a game, 6, 7, 8 rebounds, could you call those all-star numbers? Kind of, sort of, but is he an all-star? Nah, he won't ever make the roster, but he can be very, 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 very good for the team. We have some talent on the team. I'm not down on LaMarcus Aldridge like a lot of people are. I think DeMar DeRozan, I think he still got a little bit of that haze over him for what happened. He's still dealing with a little bit of trauma from being traded. But at the same time, I would say there is, like I said, a lack of leadership and a lack of identity on the team. Like, when you had the big three there, you knew what it was. You knew what it was. We're coming to find out that maybe some of the back room and locker room type of way of they handled some of the relationships on the team may not have been the best, even though we say they were consummate professionals. They one of the best organizations in the NBA, let alone in the sports world. And, it comes with give and take. That's just like the Patriots. I'm pretty sure there's some people that can complain all day about how the Patriots handle stuff in the locker room or in the office or whatever the case may be. I think the same things with the Spurs, but we're going to have to find somebody that wants to lead the team. Like, somebody's going to have to be the face of the team. They're going to have to be good. I
Yeah.
don't know if, we're in a very interesting position because I don't see a big name free agent coming to San Antonio. We
No.
don't have a whole bunch of assets, even though we got good young players. We don't have attractive assets that we could just trade away and do this thing. And then,
No.
like, Tim Duncan and Dave Robinson, they're not coming walking through the door, and we're not gonna get them in the
No.
draft. It's not gonna happen. So they're like Popovich and them is gonna really have to find out what the identity of the team is. Somebody's gonna have to step up. And somebody's gonna have to lead that team.
And I feel like y'all just sent the last person who's ever won a championship out the door in Gasol. So now you have zero championship experience.
Right. That's all
Outside
well.
of the coaching. Outside of the coaching.
Outside the coach. And that's all well and fine. I like Paul Gasol straight up and down. Paul Gasol, San Antonio. We got him 2 years too late. Them 2 years where he had All-Star years in Chicago when he first left LA. That was the time to get him. He was too expensive. I understand why we didn't. I don't understand. Like the buyout, the financial piece, great. Because we owed him like 15, 16 million this year, another 16 and a half or something like that. Next year, maybe 15. Get him off the books, cool. And I'm not, and when I say this, I mean this with all due respect. This last year and this year, he was trash. He was trash. He acted like he couldn't hold on to the basketball, all this other. So when you talk about you grading him in these last 2-3 years, yeah, it makes sense to buy him out. Is Paul Gasol trash? Absolutely not. He'll probably go to the Hall of Fame. He's great. I love the fact that he came to the Spurs. He should have been a Spur. He's a Spur type guy. We just got him too late at the point in his career where he still could have really, really, really helped us. And that's just kind of what that is, man.
He's having coffee dates with Father Time.
Oh yeah. Father Time is kind of walking by his room, looking at him like, "You ready?" He like, "Nah, not yet."
Right.
He said, "You sure? You sure? Cause I got your space right here on the trolley. I got your space right here, ready to go over the shuttle bus. Whenever you ready." So yeah.
Speaking of Father Time, let me transition to your tight end for your Dallas Cowboys and Jason Witten. Can we just not? Do we really need Jason Witten coming now? Does he need to get out the booth? Yes, because he's terrible.
He's terrible. He's terrible in the booth. I love Jason Witten. He's terrible.
But do we need him? Do we need him putting on the 82 again? I'm done with the Jason Witten era. Can we be done?
This is the scary part. Now watch this. This is the scary part. I cannot definitively say. I can't say this definitively. That if Jason Witten puts his jersey back on, goes to training camp, and you're going to have to, it's a possibility he can go in instantly and be the best tight end that we have on the roster. Now, in the same thing that you just said, I had already turned the page on Jason Witten. Lifetime Cowboy, Hall of Fame Cowboy, Ring of Fame, Hall of Fame for the NFL, all that stuff. Absolutely. I have no problem. I love Jason Witten. And it's not saying that I wanted him to leave the field. Like, I won't kick him off the field now. I do believe that it's going to take, let me see how I can say this. It's like the stuff is going to have to work in the right order, and it's going to have to work almost to perfection to get the maximum impact of having him on the roster in terms of locker room, in terms of possibly on the field, blocking, red zone, catches, security blanket for Dak. It's going to have to all work exactly right, because if any one of them things drop, it's going to be a distraction. It's going to be not what it was meant to bring, like I said, that amount of impact. If he come in there and he can't catch the ball no more, it's going to be a problem. He can't run no more, it's going to be a problem. So
you know what it's going to take. You know what it's going to take for Jason Witten to be relevant. Tell you 2 words. Tony Romo. Man, stop it. If you were telling me that Tony Romo was coming back to the team, I'm good with Jason Witten. I like Dak. But if I'm bringing Jason Witten back, I need Romo, and I need it in the worst way.
Okay, so just straight up. You Lakers, I'm Spurs, but we both Cowboys.
Right.
We the unprofessionals with a couple of armchair executives. Are you bringing back Tony Romo? If he comes to you and say I'm healthy and we got an offensive line that can somewhat keep him upright, well, are you bringing back Tony Romo?
I can't bring him back. Not as a starter. I can't bring him back. But that's what I'm saying. Because I can't bring him back, I don't want Jason Witten.
Gotcha.
And that's all. Like, I don't want DeMarcus Ware. I don't care what you're doing. I don't need DeMarcus Ware anymore. Like, we've turned the page on these guys. Let the sun set and keep it moving. If Jason Witten wants to come back to the NFL and play tight end, find somebody that's going to sign him. I don't need him. And if you don't feel like the tight end, Jarwin, and all those guys are worth trying to develop, fine, draft the tight end. But we don't need Jason Witten, because I'm still not confident that Dak Prescott is going to complete 75% of his passes to Jason Witten.
Well, see, that's the thing though. He has success with Jason Witten. It's because it's intermediate passes and it's safety blanket. It's a safety blanket.
Right. So again, if I'm looking for low upside 6 yard gains and poke and prod, cool, fine. Then I don't want to pay Amari Cooper. Because here's the thing that's gonna happen with Dak. You bring Jason Witten in, Dak's gonna be comfortable with the 4 and 5 yard dump off to Witten, the 3 and 4 yard to Zeke, and then we're gonna get in 3rd and 1, which from a team standpoint, that's great. But we got a guy on the outside making $20+ million not getting the ball because Dak Prescott refuses to throw to him. Who, by the way, should not be making anywhere near $20 million at quarterback.
Oh no, brother, we all agree. Like, I think the absolute peak is 20 million. That's the peak. That within 20 million. I saw a post you said about him making 18. I think that would be a little bit disrespectful, but
Nope.
you put him at
Nope. It would not be. Nope.
Put him at 20 million. Put him at 20 million, man. But as soon as we start creeping up above 21, 22, all that crap like that, you digging yourself a hole. I don't. And with having, I mean, number one, okay, not to get away from that. Yes, Jason Witten, he could have stayed at the house, whatever. I don't think it enhances the team or anything like that. But in terms of financials for the Cowboys, they need to worry about signing DeMarcus Lawrence.
Facts.
Get that done. And then get all your stuff done in order so that way you can be ready to pay Dak and then you can pay Zeke. And then somewhere up off in there, you're going to have to pay Amari. But you better, whoever your financial people are, your lawyers, you better take them to lunch. you better schmooze them up and get them ready so you can get your financials straight.
Bro, first of all, wait. You remember the offense pre-Cooper, right?
Yeah.
So after you take care of Lawrence, you need to take care of Cooper.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You need to call Dak and tell him, you remember what the offense was like pre-Cooper, right? And then you need to remind Dak. So we're going to go on, give Zeke a little something. Then we're going to revisit your contract, which we still have some years before we have to start paying you.
Right.
We could hit you with that franchise tag at the end. So you need to ask yourself, how much are you willing to play ball? Because let me tell you what you're not right now. You ain't Joe Montana. You ain't nobody with big time explosiveness. I ain't seen you win not one game on your back.
He did. Wait, man, he did. When he got the first down against Seattle when he ran.
Slim. Okay, check this out. How many? It's 32 teams in the league, right?
Yep.
32 teams in the league. It's 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter in the playoffs. Start listing quarterbacks you want before Dak Prescott.
That I want before him?
Yeah. How many quarterbacks you got to hit before you get to Dak?
Okay. Let's see. Let's just, I mean, so are you, you say over under? Are we doing like an over under because is he number 32? No.
No, he ain't 32. Is he 20?
I don't know if I can name 19 people before Dak.
Well, it's a good test to try. Maybe we ain't got enough time today, but I'll tell you that's a good.
Well, okay.
I'm putting the over under at 20. Don't do it now. Don't do it now.
I ain't gonna do it now. I'm about to think about it. I'm gonna come back. But I say the over under will be closer to maybe. I know it's only 5 spots, but I would say over under closer to 15 than 20. If I put him right in that patch of people that's in the middle, right around in the middle, 15, 16, somewhere in there.
2-minute drill. I ain't say starting at your quarterback. I'm talking about 2 minutes. winning time.
I got you. 2 minute drill. I
Okay.
understand what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Are they gonna sign? Are they gonna sign you, boy? From Seattle.
They need to. They need to. They extended the salary cap went up. I think by like it was like 11 million, something like that. For the whole all teams. The salary cap. Uh, we could have the money to sign Earl Thomas. We need to.
Then we don't need to give more money to Dak.
I'm not advocating giving money to Dak. I told you what my cap. I'm capping it at 20. You want to cap it at like 18. I'm saying capping it at 20. I heard some rumblings about like in the negotiations they will tell Dak like your baseline salary or whatever your paycheck is and your contract is going to be from us as Dallas Cowboys. You need to take in consideration that you'll be able to pick up a whole bunch of other endorsements that you can use to fill your pockets because you're going to be the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys as a franchise. So he got the yogurt in the soup right now. He need to pick up a shoe deal. He need to pick up another kind of deal or something like that where he can maybe make some money. But I don't want to, at the same time, listen, I know when he's passing on Sundays and his accuracy is toilet water, I know it looked like he ain't worth no money and he's making disrespectful throws, but you can't make a disrespectful offer to him, especially if you ain't got no backup plan.
I don't think $18 million is disrespectful. That's what I'm saying. I just don't think that. I don't think that a peak at 18 is disrespectful because I also look and say, bro, you won injury for not having any NFL experience. If it wasn't for Tony and his back, we might not know if Dak could play right now. We might be saying, look, we need to start thinking about the draft and looking at a quarterback because he may not have been on the field.
But the same way where you could try to tell that man, I'm not saying you said this, but the same way you could tell that man that he's going to benefit from being the starting quarterback of the most popular, most lucrative franchise of sports teams is the same reason why you can't disrespectfully offer him something that's based strictly. I know this sounds crazy because when I say I believe this, I'm with you. Well, let me be clear. I hear you. His skill set, his accuracy in passing ain't even worth $18 million a year. I know that. But I'm just saying that the way that that this whole environment and atmosphere is built, you can't tell that man that I'm gonna pay you $18 million a year because that's what you worth, and he's a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. That's almost like the Pittsburgh Steelers about to overpay Ben Roethlisberger. They about to do it. They about to do it. They going to give
That's a
him
fact.
20-something million, something. It's going to be 24, 25, $26 million. They're going to do something retarded. He's not worth that right now. Is he worth that in legacy? They're not ready. The GM, I'm not trying to get off subject. The GM already giving him the keys to the franchise, basically making him like ownership. He can criticize whoever the hell he want on the team. That's stupid. That's
That
dumb.
is.
It's not good for
That
the
is.
locker room. Ben has earned his legacy in Pittsburgh, but he ain't going to be the best. He ain't be the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's true. He better than Dak though.
He is for sure better than that. That's not. I won't. I'm not. Come on, man. We
That's
say
I'm just
that.
saying that's one of your 15. He better than
For
Dak.
sure, for sure, for sure. That's what you 15. But my point is this. My if I'm trying to justify paying Dak Prescott $18 million, then Rooney them in Pittsburgh ain't gonna say you blew up my locker room, and so I'm only gonna pay you X, Y, Z because now we ain't got nobody. We ain't got the killer bees no more. We just got your chunky behind. Quarterback trying to break tackles. That's all we got. That's it.
I
That's
got
all we got now because I gave you the keys to the leadership of the locker room and you blew it up and tore it up. Now, in terms of Dak, you cannot come to Dak Prescott as a starter for the Dallas Cowboys, who won the second playoff game in this whole drought since the last time they won one, and they should have won one 2-3 years ago when they lost to the Packers. And all I'm saying is that you can't make the offer disrespectful. In the same sense, you can't overpay him, but you can't offer him 18. Who else is making 18 right now? That's a playoff team.
I don't know. But I can tell you if I look at even just the guys in the playoffs who was in the playoffs with him, even the quarterbacks in the playoffs with him.
You're right.
I go into the game, even with Lamar Jackson. I go into the game with a little more trust in those guys than I do Dak Prescott.
Lamar Jackson is not one of the 15. Just so you
You
know.
crazy? You crazy?
He right there in that same patch, but he not ahead. I can't just definitively put him ahead of
I
Dak
can't.
Prescott in a 2-minute drill.
Okay, if you can't definitively put a guy ahead of Dak Prescott in a 2-minute drill, then we definitely finna struggle getting 15. If they in the same boat, then we definitely finna struggle getting not hitting the 15 mark. Because I don't think that if him and Lamar Jackson's in the same boat at 15, 16, that's a problem. We're gonna have to do that. And it's not that I don't like the guy. I don't like him getting paid franchise quarterback money.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I think 20 is too much. But we digress.
So okay. So last quick question concerning Dak Prescott. If you're not willing to pay him $20 million, quote unquote, or just franchise money, which we both agree, what is the plan for the position for the Cowboys? Are we drafting another quarterback in the next couple of years? Are they looking for a franchise guy? Would they actually let Dak ride off into the sunset, or have they committed to Dak to saying he's going to be the guy until he retires?
They've committed to him. I'm still drafting the quarterback if there's one available late that I might like, and I'm talking about late, like not before the 5th round type of quarterback, because I don't know who's backing him up.
Can't think of the guy's name. That's a shame.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right. So if there's a guy that I like who might have some potential, I'll draft him late. I mean, and truth be told, I don't know that there is another quarterback like Nick Foles just signed with Jacksonville. I don't think that I would take Nick Foles over Dak Prescott because I think Nick Foles is terrible.
Okay.
But I can't deny the poise that Nick Foles has been able to demonstrate in big games. In a 2-minute drill, I might be willing to take Nick Foles over Dak. Long term, nah, because I've seen Nick Foles at the helm of a team. He's terrible.
Right.
But with a super simplified playbook in the biggest games, I feel like Nick Foles isn't going to make the mistake.
Mm-hmm. Does Dak Prescott? Man, how did I let that question slip? It was just right there. I looked
Does
at
Dak Prescott? Does he make $20 million? No, not if I'm the executive.
No, that ain't what I was about to ask.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I was about to ask. Okay. I was about to say, oh man, I don't believe I just let that slip. I looked at the time, I looked at the clock, and it threw me off.
Is anybody wearing the Dak Prescott shoes whenever they come off? No, he got to find a different endorsement. Ain't nobody trying to wear no Dak Prescott shoes. Not worth no shoes. Is Dak Prescott as corny looking as Antonio Brown with that blonde mustache? No, he looks a mess. Did you see that interview on SportsCenter? Come on, AB.
AB, is he AB? AB, I appreciate the way that he's kind of not exposing, but that blonde mustache, he's just doing whatever he wants. He's doing whatever. He's acting like he's the best player in the NFL right now.
Right. And I don't care where you're from, dog. Stop trying to tell me where you're from every 5 minutes in the interview. I don't like. Okay, all right. Like, okay, AB, we get it.
Do you think he gonna blow? Do you think that he gonna mess up the team wherever he go?
Nah, I don't think so. If he's true to what he's saying, he just wants to be respected. And I mean, all great players, I think, have a level of hubris about them. And I know wide receivers always talked about as the diva position. But based on what the GM said, which I feel like is what Roethlisberger said in the conversation, yeah, that's disrespect, dude. We're professionals. Not a kid, not your child.
Right.
What you mean? 52 other kids. What? I'd be mad too. Especially when I look at my numbers and I can say, well, my numbers have been amazing for 4 years. Guess what I've done for you? You don't get to call me no kid.
Right.
So yeah, I'd be pissed mad too if I was Antonio Brown.
Right.
I don't have no problem with that. I think I believe Ryan Clark, who says the guy might be a little bit too high on his own supply, but I also respect Ryan Clark saying that the dude works hard when he's in the facility.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm taking him, but it depends on the type of team I have. If I got a team full of veterans, I might be looking at AB. If I got a team full of young guys, especially at the wide receiver position, I don't know if I want that pariah in the locker room.
Right.
I don't know if I want somebody that volatile.
Right.
But I will be drafting Juju Smith-Schuster in fantasy. Hey.
Juju's about to catch a whole lot of balls, but yeah.
I'm making him a priority on the draft board.
Anything else pop out to you recently?
Not recently. I don't understand why we continue to make a big deal. Oh, Kyler Murray is 5'10", 207. Yes. Amazing. Now he can be the franchise quarterback. Good. Take him number one. Take him number one then.
Are you not a Kyler Murray believer?
Let's just put it to bed. He that good. No, it's not that, but I'm just saying, like, if you can play the position, you can play it. I don't see in the job description you have to be a certain height or a certain weight. If you can play the position, you can play the position. If you can't, you can't. Don't make it about, oh, he just hit the threshold of what you'd like to see in the quarterback, the minimum possible in terms of height and weight. Really? Yeah. Can he throw it out?
Right.
Can he throw the post? Can he hit you with the back shoulder? Can he do it? If he can do it, leave him alone. If he can't, he can't. We'll find out.
Yeah, I remember going to the gym that morning, and it was crazy. It was like, we're going to be getting the height and weight in moments. And like, I finished my workout, and I came in, just did that whole day. And it was one of them type of things to where it's like, I was excited. I was actually a little surprised. The first thing I said was like, he measured in at 5'10" and 1/8. I say he was at the chiropractor all week getting stretched out. He was at the chiropractor all week. Do you hear me? Getting stretched all the way out. Somebody might have beat him in the bottom of his feet, make him swell up a little bit so he could have a fight. Because I was like, okay, but the more so they was talking about his hand size and stuff too. But that's just traditional thinking though. And NFL hasn't made that switch yet.
Right. Because Jamarcus Russell was what, 6'9", 270. He couldn't get off the lane. Like, come on, man. Come on. We're not doing the height weight thing. Like, we're not doing it. Either you can play the position or you can't.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I appreciate athletes like Kyler Murray that when I say press the threshold, it makes you think differently. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just like I said before in previous conversation, as long as he goes to the right situation and they commit to him and they commit to an offensive coordinator and they commit to a playing style to make him successful, I think he'll be all right. It's like what you said, I think he can play the position. I just really do. You know, you've seen it he's done it on the highest stage that he can do as a quote unquote college student. He's you know, all you can do is put him in the game. And he's not Johnny Manziel, bye Johnny the football. And he's not I think he's a little bit more He's a little bit more football smart than even like an RG3, you know. So I think that he'll be, and he's more elusive, and he's built a little bit differently, so he might be able to take some hits, blah, 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 blah. So,
yeah. One last thing, I would be remiss if I didn't do this publicly.
Okay.
I am so sorry, Joakim Noah, because I made you an ultimate hustler, and
we rescinded it. I'm gonna have to put a graphic up to rescind the ultimate hustler.
I'm just wrong. Like, maybe it was injury and just not getting a shot, because Joakim Noah has been
tearing it up.
So I'm going to apologize to Joakim Noah because I was wrong.
This is the only thing I'll say. This is the only thing. I'll put a graphic up. We'll rescind it and everything. But I just want to make it I want to be clear so that way we ain't got to be looking crazy. And I don't know who all seeing us right now. When we get famous, they can go back and look at this video or whatever. And that's what I'm going to say. You're right. Joakim Noah, with the type of player he is, at the time of his career that he is, he needs to be put in an optimal situation. Maybe that kind of happened with Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr. going down. Boom, he started the ball, whatever. But let's be clear. Let's be very clear That whole time when he was leaving and getting signed by the Knicks, he has some ultimate hustler tendencies going on.
That's a fact.
And that's why you named him. It wasn't, it'd be different if he had retired and we didn't see him play basketball no more. And then we could say, boom. If he said, I'm going to take this Knicks contract and I'm going to the house, and I don't even care, and I'm gone. Then that we would say that. But he had some tendencies. So we can say it was a little premature, but we won't make it sound like there was no evidence there. Because that contract in New York.
I just don't want to make him Chandler Parsons.
Right now, he's not Chandler Parsons. He is not Chandler Parsons. He's not Chandler Parsons by any stretch. All right, man. Well,